So if you're trying to collect payments through a Google form, I have some bad news for you because you can't do it built in. But in this video, I'm going to show you a workaround that most people use. And if you're using Stripe, at the end of the video, I'll show you a way that you can build Stripe checkouts directly into your form using AI. So the example form that we're going for is just a simple donation form, and we're going to assume that we have some form of payment link, right? So for example, it could be that you're using Stripe for your payments, you've created a payment link, and now you want people to pay through that link. Could also be Revolut, could be other payment providers. So for the first method, we'll be adding it to the confirmation message. So somebody goes through the donation form, leaves all of their details, and then when they get the confirmation, you actually show the payment link. So under settings in the confirmation message, default is your response has been recorded. You can edit this and then you can say, please pay here. That's a bit brutal, but okay, let's go for it. And then you provide the payment link, right? So of course, the thing is you will never be able to link the responses that you got from within Google Forms to the payment. But at this point, people filled in their information, so they're probably likely willing to donate. They go to the payment link and they pay through Stripe. So that's method one. In method 2, we'll be adding a QR code linking to the payment inside of our form. So the way that we do this is that we add an image to our form, and here we're going to be adding our QR code. So the way that you can typically do this is, for example, in Stripe, you can just generate a QR code. Same goes for Revolut, for example. But if you don't have a QR code generator in your payment provider, there's QR Code Monkey and other tools where you can just generate a QR code from a link. So we're going to download this image, and then we're going to simply upload it back into our Google Forms, and we have our payment link inside of the form. And it kind of makes sense. People by now know these and they know to scan things and pay them. So the third method is a bit more integrated, but it requires using a third-party plugin. So there's a couple of them out there on the Google Workspace Marketplace. One of the top ones is Payable Forms. So the way that this works is it's going to generate a payment link for you. It integrates with different payment providers. At the end of your Google form, you get a payment link, and then it redirects people to a checkout page. Now, the integrated part here is that the Google Forms data is going to be taken together with the payment data, so whether the payment failed or not, and it's going to be stored inside a Google Sheet and synced for you. On top of that, people get a receipt in the same style as your Google form. So it's not to say that people can really pay from within the form, but you have the receipts and you have the fact that the Google Forms data together with the payment status is all kept in sync in your Google Sheet. So it's a bit more integrated, but it's still a third-party thing and it's not 100% integrated with your Google Forms either. So if you're using Stripe as we are, then a more integrated method is using a tool called Weavly AI, which allows you to build fully functional forms with unlimited responses, so kind of like Google Forms, but all using AI. So we're going to simply say, I need a donation form for my pet charity. And then Weavly AI is going to not only generate the form, generate the questions, the likely questions that we want to ask, right, which we can of course tailor, but it's also going to enable us to immediately collect those integrations using Stripe. So there you see it building out the form. So we have name, email, donation amount, so it's pretty basic, our payment success and our payment failed. Now this kind of looks bland, so let's tweak it up a bit and then we'll set up the payment. So make it look like a pet charity form visually. It's going to select the visual, probably have something with dogs or cats, so it's cat, and then might change the theme as well. So as you can see, you can also add additional questions to your form that way. So you just chat with the AI and you get your form. Now, the cool thing is that under settings, payments, we can immediately connect with Stripe. So I'll show you how that works and then we'll set up the donation as well. So Weavly is recognized by Stripe as being a secure partner. So it asks for a number of permissions basically to create payments on your behalf. So no money goes through Weavly, everything goes through your account, but they create the payment for you. So here I have a dummy account, I press connect, and then that's essentially it. So it's going to check that everything's all right, we'll be connected, and we can set up our payment. So from here, I can specify what kind of payment I want to get. So donation, a purchase, or a subscription. So we're gonna go for donation. And then the amount that we want is variable, and it's linked to that question that we ask, how much do you want to donate. If you want to make it a fixed amount, that's possible as well, of course. And here we can give it a name, which will appear on the receipt. So all we need to do now is press the save button and we can go ahead and publish our form. Now, what this is going to look like is essentially like this. So we have our nice form with the cat right here. I can leave in my name, I can leave in my email address, and then let's say that I want to donate $10, right? So I enter 10, I press submit, and this is going to redirect me to the actual Stripe checkout. And depending on whether the payment fails or it succeeds, then this will lead me to a different page, and you will see this inside of the results in Weebly. So if I show you an example, if I check the results tab of our forms in Weebly here, so this is from another donation form which actually has a donation. So you see the donation amount was 1 back then, name and email, and then you see here under the status, the payment status is pending. So it's going to be pending, it's going to be succeeded or failed depending on what happens. Of course, there's also a whole bunch of integrations that you can use. So you can integrate with Google Sheets, you can integrate with Notion, and they tend to have more fine-grained automations afterwards, but those are all subjects of different tutorials that you can find on this channel as well. But this essentially wraps it up. So if you absolutely want to stick to Google Forms, I showed you 3 methods to add payment links. If you're using Stripe, then Weebly AI is the easier option to have something which is fully integrated and have you use a single platform for both your responses as well as managing the payments. If you like these kind of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.